Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of This Week in Philadelphia Sports, where you know the score by now. We go over everything that's happened this week in Philadelphia sports. Again, this time in 2021 though, we're bringing this series back. It went on a little hiatus when COVID decided to ruin our lives, and then everything else decided to just catch fire, meaning I didn't really have the time to sink into this and make it the best show it could be. But now, Philadelphia sports are on fire. There's a lot to talk about. Make sure you buckle your seatbelts because this is gonna be a bumpy ride. If you're new around here, it would be great if you could pound that subscribe button. Make sure you drop your comments down below. I'm sure you're gonna have plenty to say about today's topics. And without further ado, I think it is only right that we get into them. Let's start with the Philadelphia Eagles. It has been a chaotic week or so. It started on about Thursday when there was a rumor going around that Brandon Graham was going to sign a contract restructure. Now, he couldn't do that because he's in the last year of his deal, so technically it's an extension. And I was like, finally, Howie Roseman is taking the initiative. The ball is rolling, the restructures are happening, and the Eagles are going to get under the cap space very, very shortly. Just chipping away, knocking down the wood. They'll be under it in a week. It's fine. Announced that Darius Slay is taking a restructure that will save the Eagles $9 million. Oh, that is some OnlyFans content right there. You're telling me that is an elite cornerback that is taking a significant restructure in order to help the team out. That's perfect. Under the 43 mil we go. Lane Johnson then follows suit. Makes sense. I said this before a few weeks back. Right tackle, coming off injury. Hefty salary. The Eagles are going to take advantage of that. Lane's helped the team out before. And then it got bad. I want to preface this by saying the move itself isn't bad. I'm fully with the move. I understand it. I would never be that sadistic to suggest that Jason Kelce move or play elsewhere. But the Jason Kelce contract that has been dug out, yes, it helps the Eagles in the short term, but it just undoes everything. Absolutely everything that team have done when he didn't need the contract, technically. Now, the thing is, to understand this, you have to fully accept that Howie Roseman is a bit of a wheeler dealer. All right, he's a bit of a peaky blinder. He's a bit of an all right geezer, what's going on type guy. Why I say that is the way he works his contracts is very sneaky. It's the equivalent of making a purchase on a credit card, maxing that credit card, and then paying off that credit card with another credit card, so you've got longer to pay it off with a little bit of interest. Then you pay off that credit card with another credit, and this goes on and on and on. In the short term, you've got a life of luxury, and as years go on, you start slowly wondering why it's all disappearing. That's what we've got right now. Now, Jason Kelce, under face value, would have cost the Eagles $4 million in cap space. That's not a lot. The problem is he had a $15 million cap hit in 2021 in dead cap. 15 million dead cap that isn't even his contract. That's just a dummy year that has been put there to hide the money. The Eagles needed to get that money back. That's why most of it has been paid in this new contract restructure. That just gives Jason Kelce the money he's previously given up. You think, fine, okay, cool. That takes away the problem in 2022. Oh, it doesn't. Because now what we see with Lane Johnson already before his restructure, before this got done, was that in 2028, at 38 years old, he has a $21 million cap hit. Now, that won't ever be a thing. The Eagles won't ever pay him that, especially at that age in 2028. However, that money is going to come back at some point. That's not going to sit there forever. Lane Johnson is given his left arm, his right arm, his left eyeball. He's given everything to get this team under the cap in recent years. It's not the first time he's taken a restructure. I doubt it will be the last. But that money is going to come back to him. He knows that. He's not losing it. It's just being hidden in different pockets until such a time as it's more feasible for the team to give it to him. That is going to really sting because that's a lot of money. That's just in 1 year. There's a lot between then and 2028. And it's the same for other guys as well. Now, what I assumed would happen here is the Eagles would restructure all these contracts, such as guys like Brandon Brooks, such as guys like Lane Johnson, in a bid to get under the cap this year, and away we go. Doing that and using the funds to somehow make that worse by extending Kelce, but somehow making it better, but then worse again. It's so backwards. Like, there is no simplicity to it. There are so many layers to these contract moves where it's worded by the PR staff, and this annoys me as, you know, someone that covers the team. It's worded by the PR staff that Jason Kelce returns for another year. How lovely of Jason Kelce to come back. He was already under contract. He couldn't not come back. He was under contract. You contracted him. He's playing for you. Of course he's going to return. I'm not going to make a video saying I'm returning to work tomorrow. I'm at work. I'm making a video. That's what I do. Now, the Eagles can make moves to get under this $40 million threshold. They can. We spoke about Derek Barnett. He accounts for $10 million on his own, so I would get rid of him personally, but I can see why a restructure would make sense. Marquise Goodwin takes $4 million out of it. We know Zach Ertz and Malik Jackson, both probably going to be facing very near exits. The team can get under this threshold. It just doesn't sit right that they continue to beat the cap by doing the same thing over and over and over again. And just you think they're getting better, and you think, right, now they have to hit reset. Now they've got rid of Carson Wentz. Now that monumental cap hit is gone. Now they have to restart. They just do more of the same. And, like, eventually it's going to catch up. And next year, they're already, again, the lowest cap space of any team. 2023, I think they're a little bit higher, but it's still marginal. There is a fundamental way the Eagles are doing these contracts that will continue to bite them in the rear, and it just doesn't make sense. It does not make sense to me. Other news though, Brandon Brooks has reportedly came up in trade discussions, which is I don't even know anymore. I don't even know anymore. Like, I understand it from other teams. They're going to poach value. From the Eagles' perspective, hasn't seen the field in nearly 2 years, on the books for a hefty cap hit. I would say a restructure is absolutely the way to go. There's no real serviceable depth outside of maybe Nate Herbig, who can hold down that RG position. So it makes sense. Like, I would say 100%, you know, explore it if you've got depth there. They don't. Brandon Brooks is one of the best guards in the NFL when healthy. We know he's coming off of 2 Achilles surgeries. We know it's not going to be easy. But if you can lower that cap hit and keep him around, that's the way to do it. If you're going to get rid of him for a day 2 pick, it makes no sense whatsoever. I just wouldn't entertain it. I understand why teams would. The Eagles should just not be anywhere near close to accepting an offer like that, though. And finally, for the Eagles, Jalen Hurts came clean. He opened up in a podcast with Adam Schefter about the Carson Wentz trade and reflected on year 1 and looking ahead to year 2. And for me, couldn't be more excited about him. I think he genuinely held that with such a level of maturity that it's hard not to like him. It's hard not to gravitate towards a guy like that, where you see him just take on a question, a very honest one. Like, have you spoke to Carson since the trade? No, sir. Said it respectfully. Then said he wishes him the best, sends his blessings. That he tried to soak up as much as he could from Wentz during his rookie year. And that he looks back on that year upset that he didn't make the playoffs. Upset he didn't do enough. Upset that his form wasn't good enough. And that's the kind of quarterback you want. Who is now constantly in the gym. Who is meeting his receivers for workouts in Texas. Who is constantly now saying and doing the right things and giving to charity. And through all of this noise, all this chaos, all this disruption, just staying Jalen Hurts. He's not changing. He's not going out and being loud on social media or tweeting eye emojis or doing anything stupid. He's just working. And I think that is exactly what this team needs. Someone low-key, under the radar, isn't going to draw attention to themselves, but really gel that team, really bring them together. So I'm all for Jalen Hurts. I'm very excited about the way he's handled this offseason. And I think that if he continues to work with the way he is and seek on that extra offseason help as Carson did before 2017, it can only lead to good things. There's also the report out there that Jeffrey Lurie is slamming the table for Hurts to be the QB1 without any competition. I did say buckle your seatbelts, didn't I? Not a clue, boys, I'm afraid. Sorry. Now, if you've been around PSM for a while, there was an article we put out about Howie Roseman and the overarching reach of him into the roster. There were some whispers about Jeffrey Lurie in the past. We don't know the kind of impact he has on that front office, but if you're making them draft Jalen Hurts and then telling them not to get competition and then you're just making... I don't know. It comes across very weird, like an almost smear campaign, but at the same time, it's hard not to really see the forest for the trees here. It's very clear what's going on. There is clearly a campaign for Jalen Hurts, and that's fine. What someone needed to do from that Eagles team was silence the notion they were going to take a QB at 6, because if they did, that's going to cause a whole realm of conversation. There's going to be a whole different level of anxiety from teams inside that top 5. It's going to shake up the entire draft, and all of a sudden, the Eagles aren't going to be able to get the guy they want. If they gravitate away from taking a QB at 6, it's going to open up the playmaker option, which is what they want. So if you say we're going to take a QB, someone's going to jump the Eagles. Someone's going to try and trade up, and they're going to try and take Kyle Pitts, Jamar Chase, Jalen Waddle, Devonta Smith. They don't want that. So I can see why they're going to just lay that out there, say no competition, no QB1, no, Jalen's our guy. We're going to stay at 6, and then you guys can all take quarterbacks, and we will take our playmaker. Philadelphia Flyers, the fans are back. Woo! Yeah, that's good. We had our photographer Alex McIntyre, our writer Amanda Myers down there yesterday at the game. A day before International Women's Day. Just want to say, guys, women belong in sports, all right? If you don't agree with it, you're not welcome on the channel. Don't be a dickhead, okay? If you know of a woman working in sports, whether it's an athlete, whether it's someone at school that wants to play on a team, whether it's a cheerleader, whether it's a writer, a reporter, whatever, just support them, retweet their work, just wish them well. Like, you don't understand the stuff they go through. It's not a vibe, and we're fully supportive of equality in the workplace, especially in this industry here at PSN. Flyers did lose to the Capitals, and Alex Ovechkin did a thing, and that sucks, but he always does a thing. But Joel Farabee is good, and they're 5th in the Mutual Maths division. Now, does Mutual Maths sound like some kind of dodgy mathematics class? No, but for some reason that sounded like a good joke, so... well, Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid went to the All-Star game and didn't play in it because they got a haircut. That was good. But they are top of the Eastern Conference at 24-12. There should be a 5-day quarantine period for the 2 stars, meaning that they should be back in action very, very soon. So just a sigh of relief that there isn't going to be another Sixers COVID-related absolute meltdown yet. The Phillies are in spring training, and they've had so far a 15-0 win over the Yankees and a 7-1 defeat to the Blue Jays, so very much on brand. But Mickey Moniak appears to have solidified his role in centre field, or has at least thrown the cat among the pigeons to seal it, which is exactly what we want to see. But on a slightly more somber note, there was unfortunately a passing away of Raul Cormier, a 53-year-old former pitcher of the Phillies who pitched with them for 6 seasons. He lost his battle with pancreatic cancer, so we're sending our condolences and best wishes to anyone that knew him, obviously his family, his friends, and the Phillies fans are obviously going to be a bit devastated by this news. If you are struggling, just again, DMs are always open if anyone wants to chat or just vent without fear of judgment. And the Philadelphia Union have made a signing. Stuart Finley comes over from Kilmarnock in Scotland, which is near me. Kind of, it's like 12 hours away, but it's still closer than you to... unless you're not there. So that's gone well. They bring in another defender, and it's kind of fitting then that they say goodbye to Ray Gaddis after 9 years. So Ray Gaddis does get to lift some silverware as a Philadelphia Union player. Will go down as one of, undoubtedly, the most fun to watch, one of the most charismatic, beloved by fans. He's been there since day one. It's tough to say goodbye to Ray Gaddis. His whole career has been in Philadelphia, and I wish him all the best moving forward. I'm sure he's going to still be involved with the team and the local community and the Sons of Ben and that kind of thing. But for the Union, all eyes set towards pre-season. It's been a bit slower than normal, but we'll see how they get on. MLS is back again soon, probably, hopefully, and you can get all your content here at phillysportsnetwork.com. From myself, Liam Jenkins, I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you did like it, make sure you hit that thumb. Not your own thumb, that would hurt, but turn it blue. Again, not your own thumb. And hit that subscribe button. If you want my Twitter, it's at Liam Jenkins PS, and we'll see you soon.